Roaring Moon got a nice buff and knockoff in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, and now it's on the verge of being banned. It is one of the most threatening Pokemon in OU with its speed, strength, and coverage. Most Dragon Dance sets with booster energy almost always run acrobatics and knockoff, with Terra Flying to boost acrobatics and knock out Great Tusk, with options like Brick Break for King Gambit coverage and to deal with Aurora Veil from Alolan Ninetales, Taunt, Earthquake, or Roost for recovery as the final move. And on Sun teams, it almost always runs Choice Band while benefiting from the photosynthesis speed boost. With a boost in speed, it practically outpaces the entire metagame, making it hard to deal with once it gets going. But what do you think about Roaring Moon? Should it be banned or should it be allowed in OU? Today I'll be using Dragon Dance Roaring Moon and try to figure out the answer to that question myself, as we start our Roaring Moon suspect test run. Our first team versus potentially triple unaware is going to be really interesting to see if we could break through it with Roaring Moon. I do think that Golden Go is going to look amazing here. Guys, if you do enjoy the content, make sure you let me know, leave a like, and consider subscribing if you do enjoy. I'm 150 subs away from 400,000 subscribers, so if everybody watched this video sub today, I can hit it in like 24 hours. Anyway, shout out to Finch for this team. I'm going to lead off with Samurai. It's focus / lead. Just try and get up as many hazards as possible. It's going to be very hard for my opponent to defog because I have Golden Go, and Corviknight is not a great defogger in front of Golden Go because of my ability. So I'd rather get up spikes, do what I can, maybe force in Iron Val, exactly, as it's Boots. I've been fighting a lot of Boots Pokemon on the ladder. I'm assuming they're going to go for the Moonblast, so we're going to bring out Glamora just to force them out via my red card. Oh, the perfect Pokemon to bring out. And we can just get up Stealth Rock. If I get Earth Powered, I'm going to be a little confused considering, not confused, but I mean, it could run it. But, you know, it's not like the greatest thing to run of that. So Golden Go is also out. They can make a rain, which will do a good chunk to Samurott. I do like your ability to kind of threaten all these. And getting off an Earth Power, though, could be good for Roaring Moon as well. This is like one of the few things on their team that actually annoys a Golden Go. I'm going to go for Earth Power here. I want to get as much damage as possible. 41% does not feel like as much as possible, if I'm being honest. And what I can do is, because I don't think I need booster speed on this in the long run, I can bring out Iron Moth and throw off a Psychic on one of these guys. But I do like the booster attack from Roaring Moon immediately as well. I do think that gives me a good spot. And again, I think that Golden Go naturally beats their entire team just with natural typing. So we're going to go Roaring Moon now. Try and get the attack raise, which we'll ignore Unaware from Clefable. And we're just going to go for Dragon Dance. The cool thing about booster energy is, again, it ignores Unaware, right? So this is a great Mon to just put in a ton of work. And I can use it to kind of threaten Corviknight with a knockoff. I wonder if this is just boot spam, which is why they don't care about hazards as well. Our opponent is clearly suspect test laddering for Roaring Moon as well. Let's find out. I'm just going to Terra and click Acro. This is going to hurt. That hurt. I will say that is the definition of hurt. They unfortunately crit me there. I'm going to Roost. If they have Thunder Wave, they have Thunder Wave. It would actually be better to be Thunder Wave because then I can't be Toxic. Yeah, perfect. So that's about as healthy as I'm going to be. Just going to knock them out with Knockoff here. I'm assuming Skeleturge might want to come out. And then Terra. Fairy. You're still really good in this game. Yeah, you'd hella Terra with this thing. I'm going to go Iron Moth, expecting them to Terra Fairy. Maybe Water can work too. Yep, there's a Terra Fairy. Perfect. I obviously threaten them as well. And then what we can do is double back out into Roaring Moon because there's no way they let me Sludge Wave them. They're going to go Clodsire and then start clicking Knockoff. Getting rid of all their boots on everything is going to go a long way. I wouldn't mind Corvi coming in. Again, Skeleturge being a fairy type helps out my Iron Moth a ton. Oh, and Val coming out is wild because you will die. You will die to Acro. I do not have to predict Corviknight at all either. So Roaring Moon putting in a ton of work already. Getting rid of basically everything so far. And yeah, we're just going to go out to Golden Go here. If they want a U-turn, that's fine too. Iron Defense, which means they can't touch me. They're going to U-turn after. I'm just going to Shadow Ball for the chip. Gosh, that is more than chip. That is way more than chip. 42 is crazy. Yeah, look at that. They died to everything on my team now. I'm assuming they're going to go Clodsire now and maybe click Toxic. Unfortunately for them, I'm a Stall Breaker Golden Go. So I do have the Psy Shock, and Clodsire will be smashed by this. Yep, they do go for Toxic, anticipating me to switch, and now I don't have to really predict. I can just click Psyshock again. Golden Go isn't really too much of a problem anymore, and at this point, Roaring Moon's already done too much damage. We can even go Samurott here as a Shadow Ball and just go for another Ceaseless Edge. hitting everything on their team, potentially getting up another spike. But basically, I'm good into. Go for Aqua Cutter here too, and I do have Encore just in case they want to try and go for Will-O-Wisp or anything. They go for Torch Song. We're going to lock them into that. That way they can't get recovery. Perfect. And then that should be an auto win right now with Iron Moth because I have Psychic. So, yeah. Well, I just realized I don't have the actual ability that I want to have. I don't have Sludge Wave. I just threatened them with Sludge Wave, but I don't have it. But they're locked into that, so they can't KO me anyway. So I basically just fire against spam, and I'm good. That should be good. That's actually kind of problematic now that I think about it. I do have Iron Head. Okay, cool. We're good. So the worst case scenario, if I sack everything, we'll be good. So we'll just go for Fiery Dance here. Ideally, knock out Claude, knock out really everything, right? I don't see how they beat this right now. Besides this Mon right here. But Fire Dance is going to be doing too much anyway, and they're locked into that Torch Song. So if they opt to stay in, they will be 2-hit KO'd. And then they can't beat me, regardless. So, perfect. Best case scenario right there. They stayed in. Does a good chunk. But another Fiery Dance. Perfect. I don't got to worry about this matchup anymore. 1, 2. Claude is like the only thing that may be able to live. But at that point, they just lose to Roaring Moon, clicking knock off. So that's game. Yeah, so nice little Roaring Moon showcase in the beginning. Got rid of the Clef, got rid of Iron Val. It did force the Terra on Skeleturge, which is what it does, but obviously I was able to take advantage of that. I wasn't gonna, even though I do a lot, like don't get me wrong, I do a lot with acrobatics to the Skeleturge regardless of Terra, because it's still, even though they have Unaware, it still takes into account my photosynthesis boost, right? Which is one of the crazy aspects of that ability, which is why Unaware isn't really a counter. But we'll pause it until they make a move. We'll be right back. Clodsire comes out. I'll just switch out to Golden Go here. If they recover, I'm fine. If they Earthquake, I'm fine. And because they can't really touch me, I'll Side Shock again. It doesn't really matter. I don't think Golden Go will beat me. I have these guys in the back, and I have Roaring Moon, so I'll always Side Shock here. This is the only thing kind of stopping Golden Go, and it's really not because Side Shock does a lot. I don't see... Maybe I'm missing something, but I really can't see a win because they're all heavy-duty boots on this team. Yeah, beautiful. Just knock them out with Shadow Ball. That also covered, obviously. Golden Go coming in, too. They'll go Golden Go. They most likely are going to be faster than me. They'll knock me out. Oh, they're not. They're really... I mean, I'm bulky, too, but I got some speed. And then Corviknight comes in, so nice. Again, we're just starting our suspect test run, so we are starting from the bottom. I did get a couple games beforehand, and this team will be on my website, pokeaimMD.com. Real quick before we get our next game, if you guys didn't know, code AIM is currently 35% off. If you want to pick up my Draco Shaker, now is the time. If you want to try some Advanced QG, now is the time. It is a caffeinated energy drink, though, so 18+, but they do have a hydration line that has no caffeine and other products as well. Today's the last day to get 35% off with code AIM, so now's the time. We're going to get another game, and we shall be right back. I absolutely love my opponent's team. I think it looks so cool. So cool. It's Veil plus Frostmoth, which is amazing. I do think that Roaring Moon looks absolutely insane in this game. Lead off with Sash Samrock, get up a nice little spike just to start it off because Hatterene can't bounce that back. That's one of the benefits of Cecil Sash. It's pretty crazy. Whoa, they are a very slow set. Bro, they're like running max defense. What is this? I'm gonna encore them into that. Then they're going Garchomp, which is fine. I'm just going to click Encore on Garchomp too, just in case they Swords Dance. If they are a slow variant of that too, it's like they're running webs for their Veil, but they don't have it. But that Spike is great too. We'll lock them into this Scale Shot, provided they don't crit me twice. Lovely, we lock them in the Scale Shot. I know that one my Ninetales is faster. I can go King Gambit here. And King Gambit's kind of a giant threat regardless. So, and they have the -2 defense, so the Veil does, I mean, like, the Veil's not really going to be mattering, and plus I can go for a nice little Iron Head on everything on their team. I'm really not worried about Garchomp that can't boost, so go right for Iron Head here. I'm assuming Glamora might come out to try and get a T-Spike against me, and then maybe try to Mortal Spin, though Sneasler is the play. Oh, and I get I'm so sorry. That's such a nasty crit, because that Mon is a legitimate threat that would have forced some Terras to deal with. Or at least a Side Shot Golden Go to take a lot, which could open up Garchomp afterwards. So I apologize about that. That really does suck. Yeah, that really does suck. Glamora comes out. Do I want to let my balloon be... yeah, I'd rather go you. I'd rather bring out Golden Go. That way they can't Mortal Spin. They can get up rocks if they want to, but I would not be allowing them to Mortal Spin. Their Acid Armor is so cool, especially because I actually can't Yo, I'm actually really weak to this. I've never seen that before. That's so cool. Alright, luckily it's slower than me. Yo, it took 18. Bro. I'm plotting again. I don't think they can touch me. I think this thing 6-0's their team. I think they're Acid Armor, Stealth Rock, Mortal Spin. They probably have Acid Armor, that way they live in Earthquake or something. Exactly. So, this might Terra Water, or Agility. It could be the Agility set. But at this point, I think I'm too boosted to do any damage or take any damage from it. They do still have 9 cells, which will clearly eat a hit, which is what they're going for, it looks like. Frostmoth as well is scary. Oh, never mind. Not when you bring it hard out. I'm just going to go for Psyshock. Why did it take Spike? I did 0. Oh my god. Alright, that is a threat. That is a threat. I repeat, that is a threat. I was thinking that ice scales didn't work on the Fizz Def. What was I even thinking about? No, I was thinking about, yeah, literally what I just said. There's nothing else to say there. Yo, that was a threat, bro. Okay, so Iron Mouth wins. I just got to position that well. Might have to sack a couple Pokemon in order to do that. It doesn't have Roost, though. Maybe I shouldn't have just... Why did I even switch? What am I doing? I just keep Psyshocking. What am I even doing? Why did I even switch? I was thinking this thing has Roost. No, you're not a Volcar... If you were Volcarona, you'd be a threat. They could be Chesto Berry, though, which would be very scary. I'm just going to keep Psyshocking because I'm going to believe that King Gambit will save me. Because this is Pokemon, and that is what King Gambit does. I'm just going to straight up believe that King Gambit will save me. If they're Chesto Resto, I will take my L right here. That did absolutely nothing. King Gambit, save me. You're my only hope. All of OU? What is your set? Yo! Yo! Oh, that's fire. That's fire. Alright, sucker baby. If they rest right here, I'll take the L, but... Woo! Yo, that could have been scary. That was scary. That wasn't even... It's not even that it could have been scary. That was scary. Period. That was scary. That was straight up scary. I think Terra Fight Low Kick is fine. I get a boost on it. It just gives me stab, but it makes me not weak to Earthquake, which is like the whole point of why I did this. Plus, it's 1.2 times boosted. I get a crit with it too. It definitely mattered, but they died a Sucker Punch, and they weren't going to be able to beat me. I'll play that because I still had booster energy speed on these two. So yeah. Anyway, we'll get another game. That was kind of wild. That Frostmoth kind of a threat. We'll get another one. We'll be right back. All right, so Webs is really interesting because the way to beat it is not flowcharty at all. I could lead Iron Moth and simply sub though, which seems pretty good, but then I don't knock out Hoopa, which could have Hyperspace Fury and break me through sub. But I could Terra versus that. Decisions. I love their team though. I love their team. Also, Dr. Pookie almost sounds like Puka, and then Doctor, obviously that's what people call me. So, yeah, I like their name as well. Incredible analysis. I'm just gonna get up Webs, honestly. I mean Webs. No, they're gonna get up Webs. I'm just gonna get up Spike. Oof, that did some big damage. Are you Tinted Lens? You are. You're Sticker Whip, so I would assume you'd be Tinted Lens. Oh, this is Throat Spray set. Oh, that Blim hat. I love it. I absolutely love it. That's really cool. I can Sucker and then Sucker again, right? So I just Sucker once. Yeah, Blim used this set. I really like it a lot. I like Terra Ground. We're just going to go King Gambit. And then go for Sucker Punch once. Obviously, I'm not going to mess around with this threat. They switch. My King Gambit actually can win just with 1.1 fallen. Because that's King Gambit. I will try and get some Roaring Moon sweeps, though, for sure. That is for sure what I want to do in this game. Rabombi comes out. Just Iron Head on their Webs. Pick up another KO. Webs are going to be annoying. But again, like, my Gambit's really freaking good. Like, look how... It's a damn good Pokemon here. It is a damn good Pokemon here. They don't like any hits from it at all. Sucker will still knock out Gold. Hoopa can't kill me in one. Unless it's Drain Punch, but we can mess around with that. They could try and go their own King Gambit and Terra, which would be very scary. Don't get me wrong. That'd be very, 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 very scary. I'm trying to think, how do I time my red card on Glamora to rapid spin away the hazards? All right, I think it's on this one for sure. They Terra Water. Perfect. I'm going to Terra Fairy and Moral Spin. Because if they hit me, they will get red carded out, and I get the poison on them. Which I think the Mortal, getting rid of their Mortal Spin. They crit me, which sucks, because I would have forced them out. That is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Oh, well. That sucks. I'll go for one Acid Supply. I should live one Mystical Fire if they go for it. But, yeah, I would have lived that Psychic, and then forced them out with my red card. Which was the whole point. And we'll just get some Shadow Ball damage off. They're Draining Kiss last move, right? So I should still be okay because my King Gambit can low kick theirs. And we should be good. And I mean, if I force out Hatterene, which I do right now, I'm in a decent spot too. Just gonna go for another Shadow Ball. Alright, at least I baited the Terra. And I have Substitute on Iron Muff to outplay King Gambit. So I just need to stay in, get one hit off on them. Golden Go has no value in this game whatsoever anymore. What's on a balloon? Alright, let me get my damage. Balloon King Gambit should usually always be running speed, so at worst it's a speed tie with my own King Gambit. If they SD, I'm okay. As long as I break through paralysis, that'd be great. And then there might be some Sucker Punch wars. I'm surprised this guy hasn't been suspect tested over this guy. But I understand, like Roy Moon, when it sets up, it's really hard to get going. I do think that using Terra as your logic as counterplay is fine for a Generation 9 metagame, though. So, I don't know. I really do want to know your guys' thoughts, though. Let me know down below. I do get full paralyzed, unfortunately. Alright, let's see how we do this. Let's see how we do. Are you going to go for another one? Doctor? Doctor? I had to stay in here. I had to. I mean, if I get that off, I get off like, what, 60%? Could be... Worst case scenario would be losing speed tie with King Gambit, so we'll use that secondary. We'll go Iron Moth first, and then we'll go for Sub first. That'll be our second. That'll be our backup if this doesn't work out. That will legit be the backup, because I could also lose to Scarf Hoopa, to be fair. I wasted my Terra, unfortunately. It wouldn't have been a waste if I got off the spin, though. Oh well. Because then I could have gotten some Dazzling Gleam chip on King Gambit as well if it got forced into that, or Earth Power chip on Golden Go. Or even Rocks Up, depending if Golden Go was on a balloon. Or Dazzling Gleam just to break the balloon, too. So, figure out the Mother. If they do opt to switch to Hoopa, then I'll just have to go for the speed tie with King Gambit after. Because they'll go for Hyperspace. And then I'm in a bad spot. Oh, we'll see. They're taking a while to click. They might be clicking Kowtow now. I'll sub 4 times if I can. Oh, no. They got to go get the door. All right, we'll be right back. So, unfortunately, they timed out. Actually, the endgame was going to get very, very close. So, I was kind of excited for it. Unfortunately, it happened that way. Get up Spikes with Samurai in this game. See if we can get up... it's going to be hard, but see if we can get up T-Spikes with Glamora as well. Because they're good into these guys. They're really good into these guys. But Samurai lead. Corviknight. They're going to U-turn immediately. Actually, I'm going to go Glamora now. I shouldn't. I should use it for Iron Valiant for later. But because I should use the red card for Iron Valiant for later. But I really, really, really like T-Spike. Because 1, 2, 3 being hit by T-Spike is so good. You know what? Forget it. I'm just going to do it now. I'm going to do it now. I'd rather have T-Spike than anything else. No. Let's see if they go for U-turn versus Body Press. Either way, I'll get this thing out of here. I have a Golden Go, so I'm not worried. So we do get Rocks Up, most likely here. Yep, there's the Body Press. Doesn't KO me. I red card, force them out, and I get a T-Spike. Give me Ogre Pawn. Perfect. Threat, by the way. Literally. Quite literally a big threat. So we got that, which is nice. At this point, I don't really need this mon anymore, so I'm just going to go for Dazzling Gleam as they go Corvi. Unfortunately for you, my friend, Corviknight would never be able to default, even if you go for U-turns or whatever. The damage is already done. I got the Stealth Rock and the T-Spike in this game. 1, 2, 3. As long as they're not all boots, we'll be taking that damage. Now, Golden Go on the Balloon is really good into Lanaris and things like that, but you know who else is really good into Lanaris and things like that? Roaring Moon Terrafly. So we should be okay, especially because this damage on Ogre Palm is going to make it that even if it Terra Waters in front of Iron Moth, as long as I have a special attack boost, I can knock it out with a boosted move. So we should be in a good spot. But once again, people are just disconnecting left and right. We might get to number 1 at this point. But I'll be showing my full suspect test run just like I did last time. Obviously, I played like 2-3 games before I started going live. But I'll be showing that suspect test run just like I did last time. So throughout the next few days. So we'll be playing some OU as well as some high ladder UU because I'm really enjoying the UU tier right now. And yeah, we'll be right back with another game. Really cool team on the opponent's part. As you can see, they unfortunately got back just a second too late. Very, very, very Roaring Moon week. 1, 2, 3, all will lose to. I said 1, 2, 3, I just kept counting, but can't count. All will lose to Roaring Moon. They do have Core Change though, plus Rapid Spin, so I'm not really liking Samurott as much in this game. That's not to say it's not a great lead, but I like Lamora a little bit better, especially because it doesn't really have to deal with this or worry about this. And I'm actually just going to throw off a random Dazzling Gleam, just in case they want to Volt Switch. And let's see if I can catch, like, maybe Great Tusk. Yo. Alright, King Gambit game. King Gambit acquired, bro. Dazzling Gleam again. That is so unfortunate for my opponent. But that's why I did what I did, right? I figured the way to get progress in because Gambit goes crazy in this game. Gambit goes stupid in this game. If I go Samurott, they spin. Honestly, this isn't even bad. I'm just gonna go for knock. I get the kill there. I'm just gonna use Roaring Moon offensively here. They're max speed with Rocky Helmet. That's cool. Because if they want to go out to Slow King, then they're gonna bring out Alamola after on a double, and I'll Dragon Dance up in front of that thing, and then go for a knockoff. Because again, Slow King lets them absorb the T-Spike, but nothing else really does. They could go Cinderace if they're trying to risk a speed tie from this position just to go for U-turn. There it is. We're gonna Dragon Dance up here. Yep, there's the Gambito. Gambit needs damage on it. I'm just going to knock as well. I do have Roost, so at the end of the day, they might even Terra Fly or something, so I'll do a lot of damage. They might even fear Earthquake. Maybe they'll go Thunderous scouting for Earthquake, and then, yeah, they Terra Fly. +1 does so much damage. Lovely. Go for a Roost here, too. And then we'll go for a nice little knockoff again. Because they can't KO me with anything. Yep, that's why I haven't Terra Flied. So look at Roaring Moon go. Beautiful. We got the Terra already. Actually, they might just straight up lose because Alamola, unless it has Chilling Water, can't actually outdamage me. And I'll get to +6 versus that. Let me go for knockoff on this thing too, though. I should definitely be roosting, but I want my big damage off before I do anything. Eject button. Alright, so I made the correct play. Alright, they lost. They lost. If Aloe has to come in just to eject button, like just eject out. Oh, hey, how are you? Give me you too. Oh, man. Nice. Alright, Iron Moth wins too now. Let's go. I'm going to just keep KOing Pokemon and naming off all the Pokemon that get better when they go down. Alright, looks like Roaring Moon has won. I actually didn't think it'd win, but the red card, that was so funny. The red card into that mod actually made it so possible. Ooh, fire team. All right, very weak to Dragon Dance, Roaring Moon. I'm pretty weak to it too, here. But very weak to Dragon Dance, Roaring Moon. A little weak to you as well. This is a King Gambit endgame-esque. Or even Iron Moth if I could get rid of you. But Roaring Moon, again, if it just Dragon Dances up, it's insane. So we're going to start with Samurott. They do have Hazard Control, but we're going to do our best to ignore that. Yeah, scrub out a lead. Let's see if it goes for U-turn immediately versus Flower Trip. If Flower Trip's and Protean's the grass type, that's actually better for me. If it goes for Spikes, that'd be good. If it goes for Random Taunt, which is never the play in this scenario. Protean? Nope, they're still Overgrow. Smart. Hey, we do land. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Do I need to save this as fodder? Not really, right? I gotta be careful with Roaring Moon, though, because of the fact that Zapdos can poison it, so... Yeah, I'd rather go down there. What do I want to do from this position? I'm gonna just get a rocks. Well, let me see if I can do the same play again. Let's see if we can catch Roaring Moon or Great. Let's see if we can. This worked out either way, right? Because it was way better I didn't get a rocks because I got rid of Meowscarlet out of there. But I was trying to see how greedy I could get in this scenario. But Giant Threat gone, perfect. That was Spike's lead as well. Great Tusk. I would rather them hit me and be forced out. They might even try and go for knockoff, predicting Golden Go. They Terra Water there. They Dazzling Gleam. Let's see if they go for an attack. They do go for Earthquake. That's fine, but they gave me their Terra already. Also, they took 34 from that. Golden Go smashes them. But I gotta be careful, because I actually don't knock this thing out in one hit. So I have to go Gold. It sucks, because Golden Go smashes them, but I have to go Golden Go. I could technically Terra Fairy myself. But I want... Do I even want King Gamma's Terra? Nah, I just Shadow Ball. There's no reason not to Shadow Ball. Yeah, beautiful damage. I'll just go for it again. I think they will go out into Roaring Moon. But what I don't want to happen is I click Dazzling Gleam here, and they don't go Roaring Moon. Let me just go for Dazzling Gleam, whatever. That's not the Mon I wanted in, but we'll take it. Alright, so that's good damage for Roaring Moon. Iron Moth is looking really strong too. I'll just keep Shadow Balling here. They're just like team no switch into this Pokemon. I would love for you to go Slowking and just give me Shadow Ball. They're not ever going to get a spin. Perfect. And it's not even running Boots, which is great. It's probably Cobra. What are you even going to do? Alright, there's a Zapdos once again. I mean, we're getting a lot of damage off on Zapdos. Shoot, this is the only thing for Roaring Moon. That's a threat. I hella take this. This is great. They can't static me, and then I can Dragon Dance up a Roaring Moon and just win. Like, legitimately just win. They're probably going to go Enamorous to revenge kill me. I literally go in Roaring Moon, Dragon Dance, as I Terra, tank the hit, knock them out, and that's GG. That should just be it. Yep, there's that. Earth Power knocks me out. We go you. We always Terra and Dragon Dance just in case they're bluffing that this isn't choiced, even though I think it is. But we always Terra, Dragon Dance, and then we win because this Mon cannot be beat from this position. We already have 42% off on that. This is stab and boosted by my... Yeah, that should be it. Again, the only condition we really needed was, like I said before, Zapdos being gone. Zapdos being gone opens up the whole game. They already Terra'd, so you're gone as well. You can't even kill me even if you were random Focus Sash. So that should be a Roaring Moon sweep. Nice. You as well. Don't want to go... Even though knockoff will for sure knock you out. I'm just going for Acro anyway, because why not? They probably were Cobra Berry. I probably could have found that out for another game. But nice little Roaring Moon sweep right there. Let's get another game. One of the most used teams right now currently is this Lead Glamora stuff. I think I'm just going to Aqua Cutter. Because I want to get up... I want to basically bring them down immediately to their Sash. And then go for Sucker Punch after. Exactly. So they did get up spikes for T-Spike versus me, but I have my... Basically what I wanted is, I wanted to get rid of them, because I have 2 poisons to absorb the T-Spikes, right? So I wanted to get rid of them and not have to worry about their setup. That's all I wanted. Like, legitimately all I wanted. Orgrimmon comes out. I'm going to go for Cecil Sedge now, so we get up a spike. Big damage, big damage. Go for Sucker Punch there. Barely missed out on the KO, which is unfortunate. My Iron Moth looks really good. And I do want to bring it out just because I want to absorb the T-Spike, I think. Yeah. I want to absorb those T-Spike now, especially because my Roaring Moon can win on its own. And we'll just go for a nice little Fiery Dance here. Maybe we'll get a boost as well so I can Psychic. Perfect. Assuming Val might want to come out. Maybe it has Destiny Bond. I'm not sure. They could also bring out their own Iron Moth. They bring out Val. I don't even know if Psyshock is a straight up kill. I don't think it is. I lied. Here's why. However, once we force you out, we set up with you. I think... Did I do this order wrong? I might have done this order wrong. We'll find out. I may or may not have done this order wrong. We'll find out right now. I think I was supposed to Terra there. Can't believe it actually killed. Oh, never mind. They went hard into Zamazenta, which is like the only Mon I actually need damage on for Roaring Moon to win. So we'll go for another one. Get rid of this Zamazenta. They're probably going to bring out Moth, which is okay because I can force it out by bringing out my Glamora. So no more booster energy, which means my Roaring Moon will outspeed everything. They go that instead. Get my chip there. I don't think I need my Terra to win, so I'm actually gonna Terra and low kick here. Ah, this Moonblast is gonna hurt. We should still be okay. We should still be okay. Because I go Glamora to force this out. I Earth Power here. They get the special attack drop, which is really unfortunate. And we get an Earth Power off there. And then they go for an attack that doesn't give them anything. Goodbye. They'll knock me out here. We go out to you. Acro. KOs this. Then they go Gambit and it becomes the 1v1. Maybe they fear me setting up. I'm not sure what the best play was there. I think it was a stat though. Yeah, we just go for low kick. They already Terra'd? I have not seen a Terra yet, huh? Black glasses mean they're probably Terra Dark. Okay, now what though? You're gonna win this 50-50 too? On Sucker Punch versus Sucker Punch? Should've Iron Headed. You both resist, right? Yeah, I'm a King Gambit. Let's go. Alright, well that was a game there. Oh, GG. Sorry. Usually I run away after I win a speed tie like that because like it was a 50-50 I'm ashamed of. No, not really. I definitely think I should have Iron Head there. I just kind of forgot if they Terra'd or not, which is my fault in this scenario. But I also think that I also thought they'd be Terra Dark with black glasses just because it's boosted. But you know, that was a good game. So good game to them. I'm not gonna DM them good game after because I feel like that's really toxic. Super weak to Roaring Moon once we weaken King Gambit. Like, everything. We'll use Samurott just to... Well, they're going to lead Rillaboom into this, right? I just want to weaken Great Tusk. I'm going to use Samurott to weaken Rillaboom or Great Tusk. I don't mind playing a game with Spike on my side, because I can always get Spike on both sides. And I need to weaken Rillaboom as well. Nice. Get my Chi up. They have no, like, terrain mon on this side. I'm going to go for Sucker as well. Get my chip. Perfect. I mean, technically I could go Roaring Moon right now and try and break early to weaken this and then win the game late game with Moth. But that also feel like it puts like 50-50s with Cinderace and stuff like that. I'm not sure if I like that. The other player is just King Gambit immediately, but that doesn't do anything either. Alright, I'll go the Roaring Moon. Go for a nice little knockoff here. Thing is, I don't know if this is banded either. Oh, just Dragon Dance. Yeah, it is banded. Cool. Good to know. Alright, we can Roost. And then they won't have terrain after this turn, so we can Roost once more. And then proceed to smack everything on their team with this Pokemon, hopefully. I mean, we're fast and everything now. So, terrain's gone. Which means I can Dragon Dance up again. Because they won't have priority on that. And then just use this super strong Mon. Even if they Terra Steel, like, what are they going to do? Rapid Spin? So, we Terra Fly here. Plus, probably don't even need a Terra, to be honest. But they Terra Grounded, so I might as well go for this. Yum. Yeah, that was better than I Terra'd. Not really. How much did Rillaboom do before? 38? 54? They did use their Terra, though. I want to save this thing. So I'm going to go King Gambit. Because they have no King Gambit switch-ins. I wish I had an attack to hit Cinderace, but I'm just going to go for Iron Head here. Really wish I had an attack to hit Cinderace. That was faster, it looks like. It's hella a speed tie. I'm gonna lose the speed tie and lose this game. I could tell because they have a Rillaboom. I don't know why. That's the logic behind this. Oh, okay, wait. Never mind. This is really good. They went Ace first. Perfect. Perfect. So I can go you. I got the damage on that for Fiery Dance unboosted, which is important. Core change all they want. U-turn, get up T-Spike, absorb it. They actually went you, which I'm hella taking from them. Why not? Something for Golden Go. Let's get rid of it. Oh, wait, they didn't go them. They were forced into that Pokemon. Apologies. Yeah, apologies. My apologies. I don't want them Thunder Waving on this, so I'm just going to go for Earth Power. Get my chip. They flame. Now we go Hard King Gambit. Yeah. Don't have an attack to hit you, so we're going for Iron Head. But I can't kowtow. Which is very sad. Again, I'm assuming that Ace has Will-O-Wisp plus Pyro Ball last. I would love to be able to kowtow here. Dude, my leftovers keeps recovering first. I'm just going to keep pretending I'm faster than you. Thank you. That's it. I'm just going to ignore it. Because leftovers first reveals who's faster, right? So I'm always going to reveal that. There we go. Glim now. And that poison on Dragon Ball means it can't win. Very worried about... I mean, it'll die to I think even if I don't get boosted, if I go for get a little bit more chip. Nice. Get my Earth Power off here. Keep saving this as a sack as well for Slow King. They might actually lose. Because this is where you attack where they can't defend, right? So you bring out this and you go for Acro, which kills everything. Quite literally, Acro kills everything. So, give me Slow King so I can beat you with Iron Moth. They can't give me Slow King. They're probably going to give me Dragapult or Rillaboom, exactly. But this is a very strong attack. Look at that poison. Ooh! Crazily enough, this mon still goes stupid here. They might knock or attack into Gambit. I think I'm going to go Golden Go because it's the one that benefits the most from Grassy Terrain, but also is immune to other moves I could go for. And then we'll just go for a nice little Shadow Ball here. Perfect. I'll take this. I'll gladly take this. Give me this mon. They're playing it smart though. Oh, it wasn't over. I don't think it was over. I definitely don't think it was over. I mean, I got the... Maybe they didn't have... If they didn't have Wisp, I guess it was over at that point. But in this one, obviously, kowtow would have been better a couple of times. But, yeah. What do you guys think about the Roaring Moon suspect test? Definitely felt really scary when setting up, obviously. But that was +2 and booster boosted. Booster boosted. And it still couldn't knock out Great Tusk. Then again, it Terra Ground. And it was a very defensive Great Tusk to be able to take that. The suspect reasoning, I'm going to read it right here. And then we'll kind of go... you know, you guys can form your own opinions, but obviously let me know down below. Roaring Moon has been a controversial Pokemon all generation, having a stint on the initial tier radars, while also being controversial during the peak of the Shed Tail era. Yeah, it was actually always on the radar. I actually thought it wasn't even that great at times, and I feel like it did fall off a lot. But with this in mind, Roaring Moon also had some low points, exactly. Even briefly falling out of OU and being seen as more of an inconsistent sweeping option during the middle of the year. However, the release of DLC 2 granted its stab knockoff and a more welcoming role in offense. In response to its recent surge and potential lack of counterplay, the SVOU's qualified player base gave it a 3.7 out of 5 on the recent survey, which is well above that of any other Pokemon in the metagame. While there was some initial support, internal support to vote on a potential quick ban, we felt it did not match the standards set by prior quick bans. Agreed. Falling more in line with other suspects. I did think the suspect is always like worth it. Unless it's like, you know, unless we're talking about Reshiram or something. Actually, Reshiram should be suspected in. More on that later. In addition, other suspects were discussed and are very likely to be entertained in the near future. But given the convincing margin Roaring Moon had over them from our qualified player base, we felt it was best to honor what other players felt was best. Going back real quick to the other suspects, the mons that come to mind they're probably talking about would be the ones that were on the survey. So like Manaphy, Ogerpon Wellspring, Gliscor, maybe King Gambit. Roaring Moon is one of the most threatening Pokemon OU. It has all the strength, speed, and coverage needed to be destructive force. In terms of strength, 139 base attack is nothing to laugh at. Couple this with the high likelihood that booster energy will increase its attacking stat further upon initial entry, and you get one of the hardest hitting options the metagame has to offer. If you want to get it to go a step further, Dragon Dance is a staple on Roaring Moon outside of Sun, while Sun teams often opt to utilize Choice Band on it, making it as if Roaring Moon had an attack boost regardless. Needless to say, damage output is not the factor that holds back Roaring Moon, but rather lands it in the suspect discussion to begin with. In terms of speed, and it's true. It's basically, I mean, they're about to get it with speed, but it's basically fast and everything, right? Like Booster Val will be the next one down. In terms of speed, it boosts 119 base speed, which is superb but not unbeatable. Without a boost in speed due to Dragon Dance or Photosynthesis, Revenge Killing or more is attainable with common Pokemon like Dragapult, Booster Energy Val, Zamazenta, and specific choice for or priority users, and of course, speed ties with Cinderace as well, adding on. However, we cannot overlook the two aforementioned conditions of Dragonite's Synthesis, as the former is the focus of many Roaring Moon variants, while the latter comes into play often on some teams or when players opt for a speed boosting boost energy variant, which is much less common than attack boosting. With a boost to its speed, Roaring Moon practically outruns the entire format, and Revenge Killing is regulated to priority. A little spell error there, which can admittedly be effective into it depending upon the specific situation. I do think it's interesting, right? Like a lot of the ways that Roaring Moon is dealt with is like King Gambit, right? People hate King Gambit in the 50/50s and everything, but that Mon holding the tier together. I think if this is again a totally different situation. If Terra got banned, Val gets broken even more, which is crazy to think about, right? Because the way you deal with Val most of the time is you Terra to check the hit, and then if King Gambit got banned, I also think Roaring Moon as well as Val 100% go, like 100% go. That's the way I would deal with Roaring Moon with this team, right? I would simply Terra, King Gambit, and use my priority to beat it. In terms of move pool and coverage, Roaring Moon is always running knockoff and acrobatics on Dragonite's variants. Acrobatics may seem bizarre from afar, but when you pair, it's not bizarre at all. I see exactly what happened with the boost energy and potentially even Terra Flying. But they're, this is supposed to be digestible for other people too. You get one of the strongest possible attacks. Moving forward, Roaring Moon can opt to bolster its coverage further to dispatch King Gambit, healthier Heatran, or less common Pokemon like Empoleon and Tyranitar with Brick Break or Earthquake as well. I do like Brick Break a lot on higher ladder just because a lot of Veil as well. Though a lot of Sticky Web is there too. So like Roost is just so nice for like the bulkier teams. You guys saw how good Roost was. However, this last move slot alongside Dragonite's knockoff and acrobatics is commonly Roost, which bolsters longevity and provides extra opportunities, or Taunt, which can spell trouble for bulkier foes like Gliscor, Toxapex, Corviknight, and Tinglu, which all rely on Toxic if it's flying, Haze, Body Press, and Whirlwind. The coverage between two moves is good, while opting for a third attack makes it near perfect, while the other options improve other matchups across the board, giving Roaring Moon a great deal of potential. On choice sets, Roaring Moon oftentimes opts to run Outrage, Knockoff, U-Turn, and one of Ironhead, Earthquake, or Brick Break as well, depending upon the situation or specific team. As we lay out Roaring Moon's offensive profile, you may realize that very few things wish to withstand its offensive assault. You would be correct in coming to that assumption, as there are few, if any, true counters to Roaring Moon. This is a major selling point for the potential ban, as it puts out all the aforementioned characteristics together to put a major strain on team building through forcing specific schemes to ensure it is checked if they remain healthy, while putting a similar strain on gameplay, as preserving resources to withstand it can be challenging, especially when it's paired with other strong and synergetic offensive options like King Gambit. Yeah, I do like that combo is insane. This lack of defining defensive counterplay is quite worrisome, and a large reasons for why Roaring Moon is drawn the ire of many players and put itself in the middle of tiering discussions. However, it is not all black and white like the above paragraph paints it out to be. Literally, exactly. I'm glad this is what gets nailed out at the end, because you have Terra, you have priority, you have the fact that Roaring Moon doesn't actually kill like Tusk from full, which is a big thing, but then that opens up King Gambit, so that's a whole different story. That's why they say it's a pain to deal with when it comes to that. Just because the concept game, Roaring Moon still needs at least one free entry and turn to set up. Entries oftentimes only gained by fodder, outmaneuvering the foe, as not used as often with pivots as it was stationary Pokemon, so you don't have raw offense, who also attempt to break or sweep the opponent rather than pivot around. While Roaring Moon is a great 101 HP and 105 special defense, 171 defense to make it very susceptible for physical attacks, which can limit setup opportunities a great deal. You guys saw how that Rillaboom almost beat me at the end. Moreover, it is not entirely unbeatable once it sets up. It is reliant on Terra to maximize damage output with acrobatics and remove some weaknesses defensively, while it can be defeated by a timely opposing Terra on the defensive end too. 100%. That's just Gen 9. This is not all either, as priority can threaten Roaring Moon no matter how boosted it is. Extreme Speed from Dragonite, especially if it's boosted by Terra Normal, is a great tool, while Sucker Punch and Gambit can make quick work of the chip Terra Flying Roaring Moon, which we encounter frequently. And again, we saw that happens too. Finally, options like Bullet Punch Scissor, Mach Punch Gunpowder, and Ice Punch Metal Slider Weavile may not see the most uses, but can be valuable against Roaring Moon. It's really funny, they say finally these UU Pokemon, even though it's really crazy to think of UU when you think about Scissor, Weavile, Mammal Swine, and even Conk when it comes to Gen 5. Overall, Roaring Moon has become one of the staples of our metagame on offensive teams, and many people have seen it go from containable to unreasonable with the release of DLC and the continuation of our metagame. I do think Knockoff really gives it a lot of progress. I'll agree. Like, previously it would run it would run No Stab, so it'd be like Dragon Dance, Acro, Earthquake, Roost. Taunt is really good. Sorry, you can't have all of those. That's 5 moves. But usually Dragon Dance, Acro, Earthquake, Taunt, or Roost is really good, or was something we're using. But having Dark Stab is really, really nice. Also, just using it to get rid of items. You guys saw I was able to get rid of boots, or even you use it to force Terras and stuff like that as well. Like, it's definitely, I would say, more in the Roaring Moon's favor than anything else. However, consistent offensive pressure can keep it from sweeping, while priority can revenge kill Roy Moon secrecy well, making it more playable with some magic. Given this and everything above, we will continue to look at Roy Moon throughout this abbreviated suspect and come to a conclusion on it at the end of the week. Well, it's not just obviously them, it's going to be the people that vote, so that's why you definitely should be laddering. You guys saw I was on OUFC, that's all you have to make. You have until October 27th. This is seeming to be a faster suspect test. I know they're going to be doing this because with DLC 2 and the way the metagame is, they don't believe, the OU Council doesn't believe that we'll have a perfectly balanced metagame, and I'm okay with that, to be honest. Like, I'm not a fan of Gen 8 OU, and some say that's balanced. It definitely isn't. I'm definitely lying right now. But there are some metagames I'm just not a fan of that are completely balanced in itself. I don't know. I do like a little spice in this meta, but and it's also like my mindset has changed a little bit more just because of Terra opening up so many different doors to be able to deal with Pokemon. In the beginning of this generation, a lot of people said you can't use Terra as an excuse to not ban a Pokemon because, you know, that's not right. That requires you to use a mechanic. But looking months later, a lot of us have adapted to what Terra has been. But I will say that Roy Moon is insanely strong, and they basically outline how you deal with it. Priority in your own Terra. Does that mean it should be suspect tested? It's interesting to think about because the qualified player base, so these are people that have either topped the ladder, have been on tournaments and things like that, all voted at 3.7 on average, which means no one's really going higher than lower. That's around middle. Obviously, that's closer to 4 than it is 3, but it's still around the middle. So people are up and down whether they think it should be banned or not. So I propose a question to you. What do you think? Should it be banned or not? I'll most likely find my answer by the time I finish my suspect test run. And that's all I got for y'all. Let me know down below. I'll leave this link to the thread down below as well. See you on the next one. Peace.